You might be wondering how I plan to teach practical machine learning right on Twitter. I'll be using the collective intelligence model. While I post the training content as tweet, the following will take place. Accessibility. You don't have to log into any platform. Right on Twitter, you see the learning content and you consume them. 2, co-learning. Active co-learning with other people. You have faster responses to your questions because you are not the only one learning on that platform. Number 3, you get motivated. Come on. A lot of guys are learning, and that alone is a ginger for you to keep learning and keep practicing. Also, we have access to industry experts. They are all on this platform and they're willing to help and support as many people as are serious. So it's a potential opportunity to connect with your mentors and many more opportunities and reasons for you to learn alongside with us. Hey, let me drop this here. This course is still under development. I just thought of sharing what the outline looks like. Okay, so let's do this by building a rocket that would help you, launch your career in data science and analytics. So what are we going to cover? First, why should you learn data science or data analytics in the first place? So finding your why is very important. Also, how and where. How are you going to apply this? Where can you apply this? So not only why are you learning it, where can you apply this knowledge? By exposing you to over 200 machine learning use cases. The third part will be use case description. So we're going to build this session will be hands-on. So let's talk about what we'll be building. Then after that, we then train an algorithm. After training one, we will then talk about model deployment, because this is something that people debate. This shouldn't be data science work, but in this use case, you're going to be the same as a team of one person, so you should build a model and also deploy. Then lastly, Twitter space session that we'll be having for series of things. And when you have all of this, you'll be able to then launch your career, and you'll be happy because yes, you have a strong fundamental. Mind you, we cannot cover everything, even in a single course. But I want to put something together that will help you to conceive and understand better, what you need to learn, why you are learning these, the fundamentals end to end, and you can start building on those knowledge. I look forward to developing the content rapid so that we can start learning next week. Thank you. At the end of this training, you will not only be able to build a machine learning model, you will also learn how to deploy it. For example, with less than 30 lines of code, as you can see right here, you'll be able to deploy your model and have it running on the home. And when you also go to the doc side, you can play with this API in this manner by trying it out, putting in the input, running the necessary parameter and submitting. And you can see that you can actually predict a car price using this model. Also, you can see the documentation page of the same model. That code, less than 27 lines, less than 30 lines, will show you all this. I'm excited already, and it's time to co-learn together. Hello, as we all prepare for the practical machine learning for beginners training on Twitter, in the coming days, let me share with you those applications we'll be making use of. Primarily, we'll be using Jupyter Notebook, which is coming from Anaconda. We also need Visual Studio Code and Postman. Of course, there are libraries that we'll be installing, but let me just switch to my system and show you the link and the site where you get all these applications installed on your PC. It is important that you install them now so that we can enjoy the class together. This is the site where you will download and install Anaconda. You will have to download it from here. It comes pre-installed with Python and a lot of libraries for machine learning, so makes it easy. Also, this link you download Visual Studio Code. Of course, everything will not stay in Jupyter Notebook. And then Postman will allow you to test these APIs. And why not even learn it as part of the tools you know how to use? Data is the new oil, and I live in an oil country where nobody is drilling. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about why you should learn data analytics and science, and most importantly, finding your own why. There are pointers that shows to us that data is going to drive the economy that we are in. Number one, the data never sleeps. As you can see, every second there are volumes of data that are being generated. These things speaks volume about our daily lifestyle, and also the future. Talking about the second wave of the data transformation. Data is going to fuel this economy. More apps are being built. A lot of things are rolling out. The Web 3.0 and the rest. Data lies within those activities. Let's talk about the data gap. You see that billions, petabytes, yottabytes of data are being generated every time. But the skills required to analyze these things, they are not growing at the same rate. So there's a huge data gap that you can actually cover. And lastly, according to Microsoft projection for job growth, you can see 21 million, for data-related roles, data analytics, data science, and the rest. This is opportunity for you in the coming years. In the next 5 years, we see that job really coming to pass. This is really important. But most important is the fact that you need to find your own why. This will be your motivation. This will be your own reason why you should continue in this space. For me, I always want to maximize the value of data, and that has seen me growing from data analyst to scientist and managing data office today. More importantly, I want to impact on my career and my earning potential. So the more skills I have, the more knowledge I have about this space, the closer I am to my why. So find your why and let's continue on this adventure. To get the very best from this training, you need to ask a lot of questions. This time around, you are not just asking me. You are asking right on Twitter, and other people are answering you, experts are answering you. You are asking from Google. You are asking by going back to some of the videos you have abandoned, the trainings on EBS, Coursera, Udacity, Udemy, and the rest of them. Because asking questions help you to uncover many things that you wouldn't have known naturally. Our space session will be coming up regularly. Make it there and also ask questions. Thank you. AI, machine learning, deep learning. What then is data science? If you check this image very well, you see artificial intelligence encompasses majority of these items, and it aims to build a smart computer system like human, so as to solve complex problems. Machine learning actually leverages on data to train machines so that they can learn and have accurate value. Deep learning is a subset of artificial intelligence and machine learning, but it uses the way human being learns. If you get things right, we'll reward you. If you didn't get it right, we'll punish you. And data science actually encompasses, it's a touch of these three things. Maybe you should not even see it as touching all of them. It's about value. It focuses on how to use data to provide value for the business. Either you have to use deep learning, either you have to use machine learning, or the rest. But the most common model used today is machine learning. So what is machine learning? It is an art, and it is also a science, because it requires both of those skills. We have the supervised, we have the unsupervised, and we have the reinforcement learning. So what is supervised learning? It is about, you have a set of data where you label one as your output, you label some of them as your input, then you wonder how does the input affect the output. For example, if you look at this data, this customer has left us, the next is active, the other is active. For a customer with age 27, will this person leave or not? So you have labeled them, these are your input, these are your output, and you are telling this machine learning that these are the input, these are the output. But for this particular one, age 27, I don't know what the output is. I want you to learn what kind of relationship exists between the input and output, and use that to determine if this person with age 27 will leave us or not. That is how supervised work, because you have explained, you have supervised the model to say this is the input, these are the output. Oh yeah, learn the relationship and tell me what the output will be. If I didn't give you, I only supply you with input data. When we look at unsupervised learning, you don't even have input or output. You have your data clustered together, and you just want to separate them. And as you can see here, these data, you don't even know what happened. But when you use the unsupervised learning to go into that data, identify patterns, and use that pattern to regroup them, as you can see right here. And for reinforcement learning, very interesting, like I said, it uses the way human being learns, so to also build the model. Look, for example here, this is dog, this is food. When you put the food before the dog will salivate, and that's unconditioned stimulus. If you bring a bear close to the dog and you ring your bell, the dog will not salivate. But if you start bringing the bear closer, when you ring your bell and the dog salivates, you give the dog food, Now, anytime you ring the bell and salivate, then you're definitely going to give you something. So that you have been able to train the dog to say, anytime I ring the bell, salivate. That way is a reinforcement learning. Okay, what is the use case for this study? We'll be building a car price prediction model. But why are we even building this? For example, I simulate this use case. The car, that is the company here, is well known for its robust car data site, where you can always search for values of cars before you make your buying decision. The team did a pilot study and realized that their customer actually want to sell cars, so they are interested in finding out what the price the car can go for, what price their car could sell for. So they're about, okay, what's the worth of my car? That is actually what they are mostly interested in. Wow. So they then say, okay, let us build a model, let us build a solution that can help you to decide the selling price. So you don't have to be going through different car prices that are listed. Just put your car details and you get the price that you can sell your car for. What will be the input? We have some of this input: the year, the present price, the kilometer you have driven, who is the owner, the fuel type, the seller type, transmission, is it manual, automatic, and the rest. And this is the output we are interested in, the selling price. How much can I sell my car? All right, let me show you how the model after deployed, how it will look like. And this is how it will look like after deployment, where you're able to play with this API. We'll also discuss how this can be leveraged on by other applications easily. Thank you.